It is time for the part 4, the best niche brands of the world. If you guys love unique, exclusive, powerful, and exquisite creations, this video is for you. These are all next level stuff. Let's hop into it. Welcome back to another video. 𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗂 here. If you do love to make a great first impression and a lasting impression, smelling good is a great way to do that. And the 10 fragrances I'm about to share with you will help you achieve just that. If you guys do enjoy the channel here, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, this would mean the world to me. So before we get into these 10 top choices here, I want to let you know that if you do love niche perfumes, or niche perfumery as it is, definitely head over to ScentXplore.com. If you haven't heard of this event, it's the 5th annual of this international niche hybrid convention. You can join us virtually, or you can join us in person, presential in New York City, December 1st and 2nd. All details below, guys. You're gonna get a huge discovery kit containing samples from all the different brands, discovery kits, so on and so forth. You are going to be entered for giveaways. In fact, if you do register for the event right now virtually, you can actually get a trip to New York City, courtesy of one of our partners, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Guys, check out the details in the description of this video. Don't miss out. I truly hope to see you there. This is going to be, again, one for the books. We're going to have thousands of people joining us virtually from all over the world, as well as in person. Over 70 brands, niche perfume brands that you know, of course, your great top brands that you guys became accustomed to over the years, and of course, up and coming new discoveries that I myself can't wait to make as well. So check out details below. If you guys do love niche perfumery, ScentXplore.com is the place to be, and I truly hope to see you there. Kicking off the list with this brand from London, from England. This is going to be Floris London. This brand's been around since 1730. They have an incredible history of apothecary and products, drug products, and they started into the fragrance world actually making perfume for royalty, as it were. If you guys want to know more about the history of Floris, go check out, Floris.com and other places within the internet that you can learn about Floris's history. But they have been around since 1730. And this is the fragrance we're going to highlight here today, which is called Honey Oud. This was released a few years ago, I believe in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And Honey Oud is exactly what you, oh my God, this stuff smells so good. It's exactly what you're gonna visualize. It's going to be a ton of honey with some oud, some woods, some spices, some resins. This is an absolute monster of a fragrance. And again, with these top niche fragrances of the world, the brands and the fragrances themselves, I want to highlight the fragrances that I believe within the portfolio of those brands, or within the line, it is the best that you guys should discover. And Honey Oud is such a fragrance. Absolutely a stunner of a juice. When you're looking for something very unique to represent your personality, when you walk into a room, you want people to really, notice your presence in a very regal, in a very majestic way. Honey Oud is definitely one that will deliver exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you that are a little bit scared about oud fragrances, don't be. This is nothing medicinal, animalic, or fecal, nothing like that at all. The honey is surrounded by vanilla, a little bit of a tonka action here, which adds a sweetness to the fragrance. You also have a nice patchouli that adds this cocoa, chocolatey feel to the fragrance. It is an absolutely stunning juice. Period. From London, we head over to Italy to check out this brand here from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which is the perfumer and brand founder. Controversial at times, especially with the latest release. This one here is called 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is basically a woody whiskey type of a fragrance. Absolutely stunning juice, guys. If you haven't tried 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, I think it's a great segue into the brand. They have a lot of darker fragrances like Pardon, Duro, Black Afghano, forget about it. Even has the note of cannabis or marijuana in that fragrance. But 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is this whiskey, pitty, definitely woody, spicy, a little bit resinous, but there's rose in here as well, so there is a floral component, definitely spices. It is an absolutely amazing fragrance, guys. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to me is my favorite from the brand, and I think the one that will have the most universal appeal, complement factor. It checks all the boxes. Longevity, forget about it. These fragrances are 30 mils, so they are 1 ounce bottles. You might think, wow, this stuff's tiny, but let me tell you guys, the Nasomato juices, as it were, packs up a punch, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is no different. If you love boozy, check this one out. Now we're going to talk about a brand from France, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 or 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. This is going to be psychedelic. I said this before and I'll say it again. Look at the color of this beautiful ambery dark juice. This is one of the best patchouli fragrance. I'm not even going to spray in this room because it's going to overtake everything, and it's a very powerful juice, so it's going to be here for many, many hours. So because of that, I'm not going to even, bother to spray. but this smells fantastic. When you crave a patchouli bomb, this would be the one, guys. We're talking amber, we're talking patchouli, the cocoa vibe again with the patchouli, which is darker here than 𝗿𝗏𝗀𝗿. You don't have the boozy facet, but you have other woods, spices, resins, making this a patchouli bomb. If you love patchouli, this is one, I like to say, one of the holy grail patchouli fragrances of the world. There's also a very seductive note of musk in the base, which really adds to that patchouli cocoa vibe, making this a very seductive, very appealing and inviting kind of a fragrance for those romantic occasions that you need that secret weapon. This would be one to consider. Speaking of secret weapons, the next fragrance I'm going to talk about here is going to be on the other opposite side of the spectrum. It's not going to be heavy or dark or anything like that. It's quite the contrary. This fragrance is going to be bright. It's going to be ethereal. It's going to be uplifting, energizing. But one thing going for this fragrance is it's doing something right, because it's a fragrance that is a lot of celebrities' signature scent. We're talking about Oprah, we're talking about Tom Cruise, we're talking about Sharon Stone. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm telling you, if a lot of people pick this as their signature scent, because this fragrance is absolutely a stunner, it's special. And I'm talking about the brand that is one of my most underrated niche brands. When I think about niche, you know, we're talking Serge Loutans, we're talking L'Artisan Parfumé, and we're also talking Annick Goutal. This is from France, and this is here is called Eau d'Adrien. In this particular fragrance, like I said, Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, that list is extensive. A ton of celebrities love this as their signature scent. This is an older bottle. I'm gonna pop on the screen here what you find today. I have to be quite honest with you, I have tried the Annick Goutal current formulations. They are a little bit lighter, for a lack of a better word, when it comes to the older vintage or original formulations, but they still give you an average, you know, 5 to 6 hours, which is not bad. With this one here, I get 7 to 8, and I'm telling you, this stuff is a stunner. It's citrus, it's very aromatic. I think there is lavender in the heart, tons of citruses up top. I mean, the main star of this fragrance are going to be the citrus notes. The creator of this fragrance is Annick Goutal herself, the creator and founder of this particular incredible brand. Like I said, a ton of citruses up top. We're talking bergamots, lemons, limes, tangerine, grapefruit. It's just a great melange of citruses, along with a cypress note that adds this creamy and coniferous, piney nuance to the fragrance. Lavender, it is an aromatic fragrance with a punch. And again, with the citruses being the star, or the celebrity, if you will, of the scent. Next up, a French brand that's been around since 1775, even given us one of the most iconic genres in fragrances in their creation, called exactly that, Fougère Royale. And that Fougère Royale was created, I believe, in the 1800s. This here is one that was released, I believe, last year or earlier this year. This is Figuier Noir, and green is the new blue. So this fragrance is going to be exactly that, a very green, aromatic, ooh, this is good, and fruity scent. If you do love fruits, if you do love fragrances that are almost mouth-watering, natural to the fruits that they're trying to emulate and represent, this is a fig fragrance to the T. You get all the nuances of the fig, the smokiness, the earthiness, the fruitiness. It is absolutely incredible. This fragrance was created by Céline Elena, which is Jean-Claude Elena's, the master perfumer's daughter. And what I like about this fragrance even more, with all the things that I talked about, is the woodiness that it has in the base, which I believe there's vetiver here. And also there is a creaminess from sandalwood and iris. If you do love iris in your fragrances, you're going to love this. And especially if you love fig-based scents, forget about it. Match made in heaven. Speaking about match made in heaven, if you guys do want to try any of the fragrances that I talk about here on the channel, and of course thousands to choose from, because I can't talk about all the fragrances I have, they will have you covered. I'm talking about Perfume.com, which is the partner of this channel. Perfume.com is the place when you're looking to try fragrances before you buy them, when you're looking to live with the scent, to make sure you love it and agrees with your body chemistry before you commit to the pricey bottles. Check out Perfume.com. There's a code going on right now, the time you're watching this video, MAX20, which will give you 20% off site-wide from the time you're watching, I believe, until Monday at midnight. So it's like a 72-hour code type of thing. Enjoy, guys. You know I've been talking about them for over 4 years here on the channel. Perfume.com, your best stop for everything trying fragrances before you buy it. Get it, you can't live with it, love it. When you're ready to commit to a bottle, you guys know you can head over to fragrancebuy.ca or maxaroma.com to check out discounted prices, deals, and again, any codes and any deals and any savings that I have for you, of course, I'll have it listed in the description of this video, because what do I do here? I make your life easier from one fragrance lover to another. So previously in this video, I gave you a holy grail patchouli fragrance with psychedelic from 𝗃𝗿𝗄, and now I'm going to talk about a fragrance that I believe to be a holy grail when it comes to the note of amber. If you love amber, you know that amber is a combination of things, making this very sweet, sticky, sometimes smoky. I mean, there are different facets of amber. This one here is called Ambre Precieux, translated to English, precious amber. And the brand we're talking about here is 𝗏 Perfume et Garnier from Paris, France. This is from 1988. This is an original bottle. This fragrance has suffered also formulations or packaging, changed or restructured. I'm going to pop how this fragrance looks today here on the screen so you can, figure out what it looks like. And this is another one, I'm not going to spray here because it's going to overtake the room. This is one of the most powerful amber scents in the world. It is laced with vanilla, with myrrh, so you have an incense aspect that's smoky, very resinous and power to this fragrance. The amber here is a little bit sweet, definitely powdery. I believe there's iris here, sandalwood, creamy, powdery, spicy, and smoky, of course. An absolute beast of a fragrance. If you love ambers that are spicy, smoky, sweet, and definitely powerful, Ambre Precieux is your ticket. Check it out if you haven't. The whole brand, there's a 𝗏𝗲𝗁 in this brand that I love. They have an oud that I absolutely love as well. This is one of those very underrated Parisian brands that I'm here sharing with you. They've been around since I believe the late 70s and 80s, so quite a while. They have quite a history within their fragrances. And Ambre Precieux is, to me, one of the holy grail amber fragrances in the world. Definitely worth checking out. Now, speaking of revolutionary fragrances that are iconic, this might not be one of those legendary masterpieces in the world of perfumery, but it definitely has a spot when it comes to something that was groundbreaking and made a turn, if you will, in modern perfumery. We're talking about a creation from Goutal Chanel, which to me is a phenomenal nose, a great perfumer, definitely a visionary when it comes to creating fragrances. And this one here is simply a fragrance that I bought in 2007, 2008. People were talking about this fragrance being one of those revolutionary kind of fragrances. And here's why. This fragrance has an anosmic kind of effect on people. You wear this fragrance yourself, you can't really smell anything on yourself most of the time, but the effect that this has on people are gonna ask you, what are you wearing? You smell so good. It's gonna have that beautiful trail that it gives you. It surrounds you like a perfect garment. And the effect it has on people, it is absolutely incredible. I've never wore anything that has this kind of effect that feels like you're not wearing anything whilst giving you tremendous feedback from people. I'm talking about eccentric molecules. This is molecule 1. This is the original, the 2006 creation, one that broke the mode in perfumery because of the note of isoe-super, which is a compound, a synthetic compound that's mostly highlighted here. Depending on your body chemistry, depending on your skin, your surrounding, the temperature, the weather, it's going to act differently with your body. It could be creamier, it could be sharper. Sometimes it'll smell like wood chips, like cedar chips. On my wife, it actually smells creamier, like sandalwood chips. It is one of those scents that smells very unique. But one thing is for sure, that creaminess, sweet woodiness that it has will definitely capture people and have people asking you, what the hell are you wearing? Who the hell smells this good? Molecule 1, if you haven't heard of this fragrance, definitely check it out. It's one of those groundbreaking, trendsetter kind of a sense. And the good thing about this one is you can actually wear this as a primer or a layering kind of a fragrance that will definitely enhance other compositions. I can actually spray this on skin. I can actually spray this on my clothes. Come with another fragrance like this one here, Figuier Noir, and top it off with another fragrance like Figuier Noir to have this incredible layering combo. And this isoe-super will make this fragrance pop. It will give it different nuances, the way it interacts with this fragrance, but it'll also help with longevity. So if you have other fragrances in your collection that you're having problems with performance, this is a great fragrance enhancer, as it were. So let's leave it at that. We'll talk about layering and these kind of effects that you can produce with isoe-super or molecule 1 fragrances in a different video. Let's continue here with the next brand that I want to highlight for you guys. Carner Barcelona, and this is Palo Santo. Now, if you don't know the wood Palo Santo, this is a very aromatic wood. It's creamy, it's smoky at times, almost gives you like a honey effect kind of a vibe. It is, to me, one of the most aromatic and indulgent kind of woods in the world of woods. It's one of my favorites. Taking sandalwood into effect, or that I do love. I think Palo Santo is right up there, and I have to say, very underrated kind of a note in the world of perfumery. I think more brands are getting familiar with this note, or really enhancing their compositions with Palo Santo. Carner Barcelona did a phenomenal job with this fragrance. There's also a 𝗏𝗲𝗁 in the base. This is just one of my favorite fragrances created in the last decade. This is Palo Santo from Carner Barcelona, which is a brand from Spain. They also have a fragrance called D600, which emphasizes the note of iris to perfection. But this one here, this is cinnamon, it's sandalwood, it's Palo Santo, it's honey, it's 𝗏𝗲𝗁. It is a stunner of a fragrance. In fact, I like this one so much, I am going to make this my scent of the day, guys. I'm telling you, this is so unique. It almost has, oh my God, it smells so good. This one has the wow effect. It smells a little bit boozy. It's intriguing. There's something about this fragrance that is addictive, and it'll keep you and those around you coming back for more. Next up, another French brand, one that really was quite heavily talked about here on YouTube. If you go back a decade, around 2011, 2012, up until about 13, 14, it was a very highlighted brand within YouTube. Now, not so much, but this one here, I love it because it is one of my favorite introductions to niche. When I first started into niche, this was a fragrance that I truly adored, and I still do. I actually have a new formulation bottle. In fact, let me go get that for you. I kind of want to prove a point to you guys. I do go through my bottles. A lot of people say, hey, you have so many bottles. How do you go through them? I do go through them. This is one that I bought in 2012. And if you look here, it's Chambre Noire. The brand is Olfactive Studio. This is pretty much on its last days here, and this last few breaths or few sprays, if you will, or spritz. This is an amazing fragrance. This to me is a masterpiece. And Chambre Noire, or translating dark room or dark chambers, this is basically, I love this stuff, guys. This is a leather-based scent, and to me, it smells quite similar to M7 from Yves Saint Laurent. It's in the same genre, like they could be same family, they could be cousins. I wouldn't say brothers, because this goes into a different direction. It has plum. M7 does not have plum, so this has a fruitiness to it, which is great, but it's also dark, it's spicy. This is going to be a creamier, smoother version of M7 from Yves Saint Laurent. If you don't like that fragrance, you tried it back in 2002, 2003 when it was released. It was way ahead of its time. That fragrance is a bomb, and pretty much it's bergamot, vetiver, and oud are the main notes in that fragrance. This one here would be the leather, the plum, and the sandalwood. It's creamy, it's a little bit spicy, but it's definitely woody and fruity. I love this stuff. Don't get me wrong, this is a little dark. The name here, Noir, is quite fitting to this. The leather is quite dark. And just to let you know, I do have a new bottle that I purchased last year. So because this is in its last spritz, I wanted to have a replacement. And I have actually tried this. I wore it side by side. They are quite similar, even though the bottles have changed. I have to be honest here, the composition has not changed so much either. You have pink pepper up top, which makes this even spicier. I love this stuff, and this is gonna give you good performance, and it's gonna give you that unique feel. If you do love leathers, this is definitely a leather to consider. Take into effect the leather, the spiciness of the pink pepper, the beautiful, gorgeous, plummy fruitiness that you get here, the creamy sandalwood. There's patchouli, I believe, also in the base, but the leather here is to perfection. To me, it smells like a great dark brown leather jacket or burgundy jacket. It smells amazing, guys. Check this out if you haven't. The brand itself has a lot of great fragrances, but this is definitely my favorite one that if you do love leathers, I highly suggest you guys check out. We're going from one dark fragrance to another dark fragrance. Fall's right around the corner, so I'm starting to think about cool weather. This one here from France, we go to Italy. This is from the brand Tiziana Terenzi, one that I talked about, I don't know, 8, 7 years ago. I highlighted the whole brand here on this channel, talking about their main offerings at that point. They didn't have as many bottles of different preferences as they do today, but this is part of their original lineup of fragrances that I talked about in this very channel, shared with you as one of my favorite boozy, tobacco, and leather fragrances in the world. It's still up there. I believe there's a note of cannabis here as well. This is not for the faint of heart. You must really enjoy dark, powerful fragrances. This is boozy. There's cognac here, there's tobacco. There's a lot of my favorite notes within this fragrance. This is going to be Laudato Nero. We talked about Chambre Noire, which is dark fragrance. Here's another dark one. Nero means dark or black. Laudato Nero, a phenomenal Italian brand, Tiziana Terenzi, and this here is a beast of a fragrance. This is gonna be another one that I'm probably not gonna spray here in the room because it'll take the whole room apart, but it is boozy. It's sexy, it's sensual, it's long lasting, it's a little bit spicy as well, a little bit earthy, but again, the notes here are all very powerful. No joke, cognac, leather, tobacco, cannabis. It's got so much darkness to this fragrance that if you don't enjoy dark, pungent fragrances, this will scare you off. But if you do enjoy those type of scents, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna start very powerful, but as it dries down, there's a vanilla here that will kick in from the heart into the dry down, which makes this smoother, creamier, even borderline gourmand. It is an absolutely sensational fragrance that I highly recommend for the true niche lovers out there. If you're looking for exoticness, uniqueness, and power, Laudato Nero is something you should definitely consider checking out very soon, because I'm telling you, it's as good as it gets. And there you have it, 10 more great brands and their fragrances that you guys should definitely consider checking out. Let me know in the comments if you guys have watched all the 4 parts of the best niche fragrances of the world. Know that I'm definitely coming back with a part 5 and perhaps even a part 6. who knows, I might continue to part 10. There's so many great niche brands that I want to talk to you guys about that I think this series is here to stay. But please share your comments in the comment section. Let me know which niche brands have I missed so far, which ones you guys love, which niche brands out there you guys think I should definitely consider in these best niche brands of the world. Love to read your comments. And also let me know if you tried any of the ones that I talked about in this video, the fragrances and the brands. What are your thoughts on them? Please sound off in the comments. And of course, I'll see you guys right back here with another video very soon. Take care.